Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th Canto, Chapter 7, Text 26. Please repeat. Trinavrataha Shantarayah Vadhyarupadaraha Haran Krishnam Nabhakhata Gantum Na Shaknot Bhuribharabhrit Trinavrata Shantarayo Vadhyarupadaro Haran Krishnam Nabo Kato Kantum Na Shaknot Bhuribharabhrit Trinavrataha, the demon Trinavrata. Shantarayaha, the force of the blessed reduced. Vadhyarupadaraha, who had assumed the form of a forceful whirlwind. Haran, and had thus taken away. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Nabhakataha, went up to the top of the sky. Gantum, to go further. Na Shaknot, was not able. Bhuribharabhrit, because Krishna then becomes more powerful and heavy than the demon. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Having assumed the form of a forceful whirlwind, the demon Trinavrata took Krishna very high in the sky. But when Krishna became heavier than the demon had to stop his force and could go no further. Purport. Here is a competition in yogic power between Krishna and Trinavrata. By practicing mystic yoga, asuras generally attain some perfection in the 8 siddhis or perfections, namely Anima, Lagima, Mahima, Prapti, Prakamya, Ishitva, Vashitva, and Kama Vashayitva. But although a demon may acquire such powers to a very limited extent, he cannot compete with the mystic power of Krishna. For Krishna is Yogeshwara, the source of all mystic power. Yatra Yogeshwara Harihi. No one can compete with Krishna. Sometimes, of course, having acquired a fragmental portion of Krishna's mystic power, asuras demonstrate their power to the foolish public and assert themselves to be God, not knowing the God is the Supreme Yogeshwara. Here also we see that Trinavrata assumed the Mahima Siddhi and took Krishna away as if Krishna were an ordinary child. But Krishna also became a mystic Mahima Siddhi. When Mother Yashoda was carrying him, he became so heavy that his mother who was usually accustomed to carrying him, could not bear him and had to place him down on the ground. Thus, Trinavrata had been able to take Krishna away in the presence of Mother Yashoda. But when Krishna, high in the sky, assumed the Mahima Siddhi, the demon, unable to go further, was obliged to stop his force and come down according to Krishna's desire. One should not therefore compete with Krishna's mystic power. Devotees automatically have all mystic power, but they do not like to compete with Krishna. Instead, they fully surrender to Krishna, and their yogic power is demonstrated by Krishna's mercy. Devotees can show mystic yoga so powerful that a demon could not even dream of it. But they never try to demonstrate it for their personal sense gratification. Whatever they do is for the service of the Lord, and therefore they are always in a position superior to that of the demons. There are many karmis, yogis, and jnanis who artificially try to compete with Krishna, and thus ordinary foolish people do not care to hear Srimad Bhagavatam from authorities. Consider some rascal yogi to be Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. At the present moment, there are many so-called Babas who present themselves as incarnation of God by showing some insignificant mystic wonder, and foolish people regard them as God because of lacking knowledge of Krishna. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Putale Srimate Bhakti Vikas Swami Namaste. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Putale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namaste. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Prashrati Deshta. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakti Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Trinavrata Shantarayo Vadhyarupataro Haran Krishnam Nabhokato Gantum Nashaknot Bhuri Bahara Brat. In translation, having assumed the form of a forceful whirlwind, the demon Trinavrata took Krishna very high in the sky. But when Krishna became heavier than the demon had to stop his force and could go no further. So we are continuing to hear this wonderful description of killing of the demon Trinavrata. So few verses before we heard that Krishna wants to play high in the sky. So therefore Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur comments that Mother Yashoda, although she is lifting Krishna, but she lifts very, limited, high. But Krishna wants to play very high in the sky, so Krishna becomes very heavy, as Prabhupada mentioned in this purport, assuming the Mahima Siddhi. And then Mother Yashoda couldn't bear it, and then she leaves him on the floor, and then Trinavrata comes and takes Krishna. Now Krishna is playing as he desires. So now he's on the sky, on the top of the sky. But of course the next two verses are explaining what happens after coming to the top of the sky. But here we see that In this verse is explained that Krishna, he's in the sky, he's playing a little bit with this demon. Uh, Several times Krishna does that. It's not every time he just immediately kills the demon. Krishna also likes to, fight a little bit and, play with uh, this demon. So here and purport Srila Prabhupada starts is here is a competition in yogic power between Krishna and Trinavatashvara. And if you see then Srila Prabhupada explains that what is this yogic power? He lists out all these 8 siddhis. Then he says how Krishna and Trinavrata exhibited this one of the yogic power, Mahima Siddhi, and then how Trinavrata was defeated. Then at the end of the first paragraph, he concludes that why one should not compete with Krishna's mystic power. So now Srila Prabhupada is just here in the purport, he just gives the list of these 8 cities. But in some other purport in Bhagavatam, in the second canto purport, he gives the little detailed description also. So if we see all these siddhis, first one is anima. This is to becoming small, like a particle, like an atom, very small, smaller than the smallest can become. Like Srila Prabhupada narrates the incident that there was a yogi who was going naked around in the town, and people were disturbed. They didn't like it. They complained to police, and the police came and arrested him, put him in the prison, and then after some time, the yogi again roaming around, and they arrested again and again. He was roaming around. Then later they realized he is not to be controlled like that, putting in the prison. So he's, this very powerful person. So they left it. So like that, because they could, take a form very small and then just easily come out like that. And then the Lagima city to become lighter than the soft feather is very light, weightless. So this also Prabhupada narrates in the story that was a young boy. He was in the village and then he wanted to do something wonderful thing. Then he went somewhere far away to Himalaya, performed some tapasya, and then he became yogi and he obtained this Lagima Siddhi. Then after some time he came back after 10 years of practicing this Siddhi, obtaining this Siddhi. Then he comes to the village, and to come to his village he has to cross the river. And he was just walking over water without using the boat. So people were wondering, oh, amazing, how is doing that? Then they were inquiring, how is possible, how you are doing this? Then he explained that I spent 10 years, I did a heavy tapasya, now I have this power, I can just walk over the water like that. And then the boatman, he said that just is 1 anna, is the cost of 1 anna. You wasted your life for 10 years. If the local people gives 1 anna, then they just, The boatman takes from this side to that side. Uh, so it's not so worthy. That's the point they were explaining to him. And then third one is Prapti Siddhi, to get anything and everything from anywhere and everywhere. That also Prabhupada narrates another incident. Another yogi was sitting somewhere and then he just pulled out some pomegranate which is very far away from Kabul or somewhere. He just fresh pomegranate, like giving you like that. He just presented to people there. And then Mahima Siddhi, to become a heavier than the heaviest. Here in this purport, Prabhupada explained this. Krishna also assuming and also Trinavrata is assuming. To act freely, even to create something wonderful or annihilate anything at will, is Ishitva. In Bhagavatam, we see that Kṛṣṇa Muni, he exhibited this wonderful city that he created. The Vimana, which is, if you see the description, is amazing. It's not just like what people using nowadays, Vimana that's made of some tin and, just nothing is there. Just hardly you can sit comfortably. The seat is so small unless you go for a business class ticket and you get little space. But the Kṛṣṇa Muni created the Vimana, which is whole city is there. The roads are there, parks are there, and lakes are there, and all the facilities were there. The whole city, and all are very beautiful and nice. It's so powerful personality. So, and then also there is a Vashitva, is to control all material elements, and then Prakamya, also to possess such power as will never be frustrated in any desire. It's called Prakamya Siddhi. The last one is to assume any shape or form one may even whimsically desire. Kama Vashayitva. So these are all these cities are is not so common nowadays, because nowadays it's not so easy to perform such a heavy austerity. Maybe here and there, few somewhere in Himalayas, some of them are having these cities. Even in the past also, the earthly planets, it's not so common. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Manusyanam Sagashreshta Kachit Atati Siddhe. There are thousands of people, but very few people they obtain the perfection. So siddhis means, is attaining some perfection. Of course, as Prabhupada explained, this is very, very limited, all these siddhis. But for common people, even these siddhis are something very amazing, wonderful thing. Just people just wants to, see these things. And but Srila Prabhupada explains also this, which are considered so wonderful, all these cities. If you see the inhabitants of these higher planets, for them it's very common thing. They do not require any mechanical help to travel from one planet to another planet. They could just, by their will, In no time, they can just reach from one planet to another planet. But here, why people they see wonder is a wonder because here, inhabitants of this earth, they cannot move, from one place to another place without any vehicle easily. Even even within the earth, to move somewhere, we use vehicle. Especially nowadays, people they don't walk at all. If even just go to nearby some shop, they use bike or car, some vehicle. So, and what to speak of going to some other planet like Chandrayaan 3 recently, one of the famous topic people were talking. And, this for years together, they have to work, whole set of scientists to do so much research, so much money you have to spend, so much hard work. After that, they say more than 50% of their projects are fails. Some of them are get success. But even this so-called success, not really worthy to spend so much money and time and energy on so many people. So therefore, the people who are in the earth, for them is all these cities are looking so wonderful thing. Why? Because naturally, Srila Prabhupada explains that naturally the jiva has a tendency to explore things, what is there, they want to see, they want to experience it personally. Therefore, people like to travel, go to different place, see the different, uh, people, different atmosphere, different food, so many different things they want to experience it. So some people we see that they just go around the world, they just tour, they're so inquisitive. That tendency is there to know things around. So, like karmis are so much interested to know all these things. The so-called transcendentalists, or Srila Prabhupada says, less intelligent transcendentalists, they also have desire to have some experience, go to some other planets and, without any vehicle, mechanical things. So they also, try to have this power. But ultimately, if you see why they all want to have this power, why they are, after this, they just want to, ultimately, if you see, everybody wants to control the nature, control this world, bring under their control. This is the point. Unfortunately, most of the people, when they get the power, they, instead of using that power to advance further in their life, they just use their power and then, misuse actually. And then they just go for sense gratification, fall down. Therefore, this power is not given so easily to everyone. You have to control your mind and senses, do tapasya. All these demons, they don't get so easily this power. We hear that the Kṛṣṇa was doing for thousands of years, heavy tapasya, standing on one leg, also not only, full feet, just in one toe. I mean, it's It's not easy. For me, standing in the morning in the cold floor with two food is feeling so tapasya, is paining. How to speak of standing in one leg or one toe? It's not easy. Really, you have to control mind and senses. Then only you can do this tapasya. And also in very heavy cold, heavy heat, all the weathers you have to tolerate. Rain, so many things are there. So then when they control the mind and senses, they given this power. But once you get the power, you will remain in controlled mind and senses. That's a big question. So that's the problem. Then they, try to control, like these demonic people. They all try to control, like this Trinavrata. He is trying to control even Krishna. He is trying to kill Krishna. Not it, just control. So therefore, Prabhupada explains here that all this yogi power in front of Krishna is nothing, because all this power is given by Krishna. Krishna is Yogeshwara. So Prabhupada says that the devotees, they don't even think of these siddhis. They just serve Krishna, who is Yogeshwara, and then they can achieve all the, things, whatever they desire is fulfilled by Krishna. So, because when someone becomes a pure devotee of Krishna, Krishna becomes his property. Then Krishna does whatever his devotee desires. We can see in Vrindavan, the gopis, they are just clapping their hands, asking Krishna to dance according to their clap. Krishna is dancing. If Yogeshwara, the Krishna, is dancing, then what a power it is. So, therefore, the second paragraph, Prabhupada shift to the devotees, this yogic power. Devotees are always superior to demons. They can't even, Prabhupada says that they can't even imagine it, how much power devotees can obtain it, simply by serving Krishna. So, Srila Prabhupada says, automatically have all mystic power for devotees. But one difference is the demons, they compete with Krishna, but devotees, they don't compete with Krishna. Instead, they fully surrender to Krishna. They have more power. They use that power, whatever the power they obtain, they use for the service of the Lord. Means they more surrender to Krishna. More they surrender, more they get the power. So, this is a very amazing thing for devotees. As a practitioner, we have to see that these powers, sometimes we see, some neophyte devotees, they also, why Krishna is not empowering us? We could, if Krishna is Yogeshwara, he could just, empower us just in one day, just go all over the world and everyone become devotee, just preaching by distributing books or this way, that way. Sometimes the devotees, they feel like that. Why? Because as I mentioned before, because you are not qualified. When power comes, you may not remain sane. You become completely addicted to this power, puja, labha, pratishtha. These things are very, very powerful things. If you are not careful, unless you are not um, uh, having knowledge of Krishna, as Prabhupada says in the purport, clear understanding who is Krishna, who we are, and what is our relationship, then we misuse that power. Krishna can give, power to make a very good preacher, good book distributor, good cook. He can give any power to anybody. And we see, practically in our movement particularly, there's so many amazing things are happening. No one can, even imagine those things. Like I heard that story from Giriraj Maharaj that about Kṛṣṇa Prabhu. Before, in the beginning days when he was coming to associate with devotees, he was called Crazy Peter. Yeah, Crazy Peter. The devotees were calling him like that because he is like that. He just comes and sits, with the stretched legs, or even sometimes lay down and on the pathway where devotees have to enter the temple. It was not so clean, and it was looking really crazy. Then he was like that, but devotees, they complained to Prabhupada, what to do. This person, can we prohibit him not to come to temple? It's because other people, when they come, they don't feel, comfortable with this person is like this, so they are hesitating to come. And Prabhupada said, can you just tolerate this one person and give, because he used to come and take prasadam and that is like that. Then because Prabhupada told them, they tolerated. Then after some time, Giriraj Maharaj shifted to India. For many years he was serving. Then later, when he came to the West again, and some familiar face one day in the morning program, and he saw that, who is that? He was inquiring the devotee who is next to him. And the devotee said, he's Kṛṣṇa Prabhu. Then, he was shocked to hear how this person, changed to, because he already knew that Kṛṣṇa Prabhu is, learned Sanskrit and he's translated so many books of acharyas and like that. And from that level, from Crazy Peter, now become Kṛṣṇa Prabhu. That's, nobody can imagine that, Even now, people, when you tell to some karmis, they won't believe it, like that. It's such a change. This devotional service, association with devotees, can give any power to anybody. So, there's so many, hundreds of stories we can tell like that. But the point is that once you get the power, unless you have clear understanding of who is Krishna, who we are, and what is our relationship, unless we are stick to our parampara, unless we are stick to listen to our guru, our authorities, then we may just use that power to prove ourselves. You see, I'm senior. You see, I'm now in charge. So many times it's happening. So just this word, as soon as they hear the in charge, immediately some, the horn comes and feels like some heavy personality. Immediately the tone is changed. Come here, sit here, listen me, like that. Some you know, controlling power. Becomes he is a controller of everything. So this is very dangerous thing. Krishna can give, any position, any, Krishna can put you in a position where people come and, offer pranams, touch your feet, and, But this puja labha pradishta is also like these cities when demon gets, they use for their sense gratification, and then ultimately is cause of their destruction, their life destroyed. So similarly, if you are not careful in practice of this devotion service, uh, if we are not, honest, if we are not straightforward with our, authorities in front of our guru, uh, then this power, you may be very expert in some particular field, you may achieve many things, but these all due to because you are linked with parampara, with the guru, uh, is only Krishna's mercy, is what Prabhupada says in the purport. Only Krishna's mercy. Devotee have a very clear understanding. But as soon as, if it is not used for Krishna's satisfaction, the power, want to prove yourself, show that you are the, leader, and you are the person who is trying to, put center yourself in the center of everything, then the Krishna is not anymore in the picture. Then Krishna will withdraw the power. And we have hundreds of incidents for that also, So this is very important point for us to understand. Unless we are very cool, very humble, to be always under our authority, always under, our spiritual master, unless we are very straightforward, honestly trying to serve, then it's very difficult. And it just one day you will be nowhere. That's sure. So many people are gone like that. Even in Prabhupada time, in the front of Prabhupada, some of them, they become Sanskrit Pandit, and they started to comment on Prabhupada's translation, Prabhupada's purport. It's like this, it's like this. Then ultimately they are nowhere. So we may be empowered by Krishna in any field which are, is needed, empowered by our spiritual master, but that power is always should be used for Krishna service, always for Guru service. This is Guru Krishna Kripaya by Bhakti Lada Bija. This Bhakti, this is whatever the power we get, whatever the position we get, it is all due to Bhakti, which is given by Guru and Krishna, and should be used only for their service, not for to prove ourselves, or not to, show that I am great. That is not. Then we become like this Prabhupada says here, this so-called Bhagavans showing some cheap thing, and pulling out some linga from the mouth, or taking some gold, or giving some assets. All these Babas, so-called Babas, what they are doing, they're bringing like this, like one of the city, that yogi brought pomegranate from far away, like this Baba bringing some gold chain or watch. Somebody told that the Baba given the watch, and then the watch is written HMT. The company is is made from the HMT company. If he is really giving, why not his Baba? It's written. So they could just, by their, maybe their austerity, their penance, they get some mystic power maybe, but actually these are not even mystic power. These are all just some this, I call this, um, this magic shows, And there are so many magicians, famous magicians, they also do these kind of things. Uh, these are some magics they learn and they cheat the people. Why? Because, as Prabhupada says, they are not hearing from authoritative people. Srimad Bhagavatam means they have no knowledge about Krishna. Who is Krishna? So we should not come to that level, that showing something cheap thing to the people to attract. If we are misusing this power given by Krishna, then the people whom we want to control, whom we want to, make them to worship us or, follow us, and they will understand later this person also is not using that power given by Krishna properly, then they will go away. When you are not linked with parampara, you are not listening to your authority, if you are not listening to your guru, then these people, why they have to listen to you? Your followers also will leave you one day because you left your guru, you left your authority, you don't follow them, then why they will follow you? They will also leave you. Then you can't, you don't have anybody to control, you don't have anybody to follow you. So better we listen to Srimad Bhagavatam and hear regularly this wonderful purports of Srila Prabhupada and always have a clear understanding Krishna is a supreme personality of Godhead and he is the source of all the powers, all the energies, and whatever we get, whether it's preaching or distributing books or any field, whatever some power we get, it is all due to Krishna's mercy and engage in the service of Krishna, then Krishna can give more and more this power. And more you engage, more you get. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is like that. He just gives you more you give to others, this mercy, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives more empowers you to distribute it. But if you just divert, then everything is wrong. So this is very important lesson to understand that our position is just servant. Jivada Sarata Hoy Krishna Nityadas. We may think, oh, so many times we are hearing, yes, we are servant, but within our mind, if we start, contemplate some sense gratification, some material desire, then one day we will change our philosophy. Like these Ritviks are there. So many examples you can give. They changed the philosophy. But when you change the philosophy, then you are not anymore empowered. You become like another material person, materialistic person. Ultimately, you are not getting any benefit of coming in the line of disciplic succession and association of devotees. You will lose everything. So therefore, we have to always stick to the parampara, stick to the our spiritual master, and try to be as much as possible straightforward, honest, and then whatever Krishna may give, may not give also power, but just simply remaining as a servant of Krishna, that is our perfection. That's what Krishna says. Even these siddhis may some people attain or not. But Krishna says, Manushanam Shakasheshu Kasijati Siddhi Edatam Api Siddhana Ashinmam Veti Tatvara. That's really even much higher position. That's what Prabhupada said, that the devotee is always better than anybody else. They are the best. So Krishna gives us such a important position to be the best person, to be best. So why not to use that opportunity? Of course, it's not a devotee's desire to be a best among all these karmis, jnanis, yogis, not that, but it's Krishna's desire. Krishna wants to keep his devotees. So for that we have to be qualified, we have to be straightforward, we have to be honest, we have to just serve Krishna, not divert our attention to anybody, anything else. If any material desire, anything, then we are gone. So these are a few points. I stop here. Is there any question or comment? ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की